Hey guys, it's Lainey, and today I'm doing a non-spoiler book review. Today's book review is on Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge. I've had this book for a while. I've been really excited to read it. This month I finally picked it up, and I was highly disappointed. I did end up giving this book 1 star, so this is basically a video of why I gave it a 1 star. So first, let's start with the synopsis. We follow a 17-year-old girl named Nyx who, before she was born, her father bargained with the gentle lord, who is a demon, for his wife to have children. So in order for his wife to have children, God, even the explanation is ridiculous. In order for her to have children, one of the daughters, because she's gonna have 2 daughters, one of the daughters has to marry the gentle lord on her 17th birthday. Nyx is that unlucky duck. She's been training all of her life to kill him, but when she gets there, she becomes conflicted. And I say conflicted because the book says conflicted. To me, she wasn't conflicted at all. So it is marketed as a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I could see the Beauty and the Beast parallels, but as I said, I did not like this book at all. It started out pretty strong for me. I was like feeling it, and then it just got progressively worse. By halfway through the book, I was thinking I'd be rating it a 3 out of 5. But then by the end, it had significantly dropped down to a 1 star. 99% of the reason why I really disliked this book was the actual construction of the entire novel. I know I recently did a 1-star review on The Jewel by Amy Ewing. I rated that one a 1 star, but I can definitely say I did a 1 star on that one because of the story. This one, I gave a 1-star review on the actual writing and the construction of the story. That is what really bothered me. So to me, this entire book just felt off. People praise it for being dark and creepy, and I mean, I can see that aspect of it, but I was so distracted about how poorly written it was that I couldn't get past or really set myself into the story at all because I was too far removed as a reader and I was becoming an editor. The pacing, the transitions, even from paragraph to paragraph, were just choppy. I felt like I wasn't reading it anymore. I was trying to decipher it, and not in a good way. I do want to talk about the storytelling. The storytelling was choppy. The transitions were choppy. The pacing of the story was choppy as hell. I couldn't keep up. I never felt like I was reading it. The problem with the story was it wasn't cohesive. It didn't feel like a very cohesive narrative. Nothing was strung together. And because of this, I couldn't enjoy my time reading it because I was too busy having too many problems with how the story was written. Moving on from that, I also want to talk about the world. The world is interesting, but I felt like it was underdeveloped severely. The religion is that they still worship the Greek gods, which I really liked because I love Greek myths. However, I didn't understand the setting of what this world was supposed to be in. It felt Victorian from what our main character Nyx was dressing herself in from day to day. I was like, that does not feel very ancient Greek to me. So I felt like it was more of a European setting, like a fairy tale. And because of that, I was really thrown off by the fact that they still worshipped the Greek gods. What worries me about this underdeveloped world is that the next books in the series take place in this universe, and I don't want to read more books in this universe when the world doesn't feel like it's a world yet. It just feels like it just wasn't built. It wasn't built correctly. Moving on to the story and the actual plot of this book, everything kind of happened very conveniently for our main character Nyx. To kill her husband, she has to find certain things, and while this castle is built up to be this great labyrinth of confusing corridors, I didn't feel that way because she always found what she was looking for very quickly. Everything happened way too conveniently for her for me to be surprised as a reader, because I was never surprised. What What was irritating about this plot and how convenient things were was I saw them coming a mile away. I'm a reader that when it comes to me, it comes to me. Sometimes I can guess things, but more times than not, I can't. And I really like that about my reading styles, that I can't guess certain plot twists. But this, I pretty much knew the plot twist at the end. For those of that have read it, within the first 100 pages, I knew what I knew. I just felt the story was predictable and that I've heard it before, based on the fact that I was able to guess everything that happened before it actually happened. Next, let's go to the characters. I did not like Nyx at all. She was a terrible, terrible heroine that did not progress from page 1 to page end. I mentioned this in my Goodreads review, and I want to mention it here because it irritated me so much. Nyx is a room pleaser, and I hate these kind of people in real life, so when I'm reading about a character that's a room pleaser, it pisses me off. And for those of you that don't know what a room pleaser it is, it's someone who will please everybody that's in the current room with her, but then she'll go to a different room and please everybody over there while screwing over the people in the first room. Does that make sense? Because that is what Nyx is. I couldn't stand her broken loyalty with both her sister and her husband, Ignifex. I think that's how you pronounce it. I didn't want her to have relationships with either of them because I couldn't stand her betrayal of both of them. She was just a terrible character. Her romantic relationship with her husband, Ignifex, I had a lot of hope for. I really liked the playfulness of the relationship, but then I realized halfway through I didn't like any of these characters. I didn't like their relationship. I didn't like anything. And I didn't care how everything turned out in the end because I just didn't like them. I didn't like their relationship for several reasons, mainly because it doesn't say this in the book, but there's kind of like a love triangle. And the love triangle really threw me off. And it completely disconnected me with the story because to me that aspect of it was unnecessary, and I think the story could have done without it. Those are all the reasons why I really disliked this story. I won't be continuing on with the series because, like I said before, I had problems with the writing, and the writing won't change from book to book because that's just how the author writes, and I didn't like it. And I didn't like the choppiness and the non-cohesive narrative. I couldn't keep up with it because it just did not work for me. So that is my review on Cruel Beauty. If you guys have read it, let me know. I would love to know what you guys thought of it. Hope you guys all have a really great day, and I will see you guys later. Bye!